Bullets don't have no name on it. They just find targets. And therefore, they should not be used.
Tonight on DC News Now, ICE agents shooting a man in Maryland and a second person is hurt. What neighbors are saying about the incident. Feeding hundreds in the DMV.
We're trying to make the best out of a bad situation and turn it into a positive note.
A local restaurant making sure their food's not wasted.
Will there be a white Christmas or a wet Christmas? We'll talk about that and show you the full 7-day coming up.
The joy that you get of all the children coming up here, there's nothing better.
A lasting tradition continues. One of Santa's dedicated helpers has been reporting for duty in Northern Virginia for 40 years. Look at the joy of the season.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now on this Christmas Eve. I'm Susan Tran, and Chris Flanagan has a night off. We are getting closer to Santa's visit. We're taking a live look at the NORAD Santa Tracker, and we see that Santa has just left Santiago, Cuba, and is headed to Havana. He's going to be there in about a minute. He's already dropped off 5.6 billion gifts. So, friends, I hope that you are snug in bed because Santa is getting very, very close to our East Coast. We have our meteorologist, Scott Sumner, joining us now, and no snow on our rooftops, but kind of the New England area, they've had some snow up there.
Yeah, as Santa tracks his way up the East Coast, going to run into some snow at some point.
Yeah.
So, but not for us, unfortunately, at least not yet. We'll see some snow potentially as we go throughout weeks and months, but nothing in the short term, folks. All right, let's take a look here. Today's high, and just on the flip side, we were quite warm, 10 degrees above average. We were up to 57 degrees today, far from the record 71 set back 10 years ago in 2015. At least the morning low was around 36 degrees, which is close to the average of 33. The record low 5 set back in 1983. Right now we're sitting at 45 degrees under mostly cloudy skies, and we have temperatures that will dip down into the middle 30s here before turning the corner, getting back up into the 50s for Christmas morning. And yes, it is going to be a mild one out there. Spotty Christmas morning showers, we'll talk about that. Also, some afternoon icy mix still likely on Friday, and no wintry threat this weekend, although we do have some wet weather coming in for this weekend. We'll talk about what day, was it Saturday or Sunday, and then beyond in towards New Year's and New Year's Eve. That's all coming up with the 7-day forecast. So, Susan. All
right, we got to pay attention to that Friday there, Scott. Thank you. We're following developing news in Maryland. Immigration agents shooting a man and hurting a second person in a Baltimore suburb. It happened this morning as ICE was patrolling the Glen Burnie neighborhood. DC News Now's Yamri Sase hearing from neighbors there describing this really alarming incident.
Yeah, well, this all unfolded right here in this Glen Burnie neighborhood. What started out as a targeted immigration enforcement quickly escalated to a dangerous confrontation. People who live nearby tell me they're more concerned about the neighbors and kids that could have gotten hurt in this situation.
This is not what I expect of law enforcement.
Neighbors shocked after learning what happened in this Glen Burnie neighborhood Christmas Eve morning. According to the Department of Homeland Security, just before 11 a.m., ICE was doing a targeted operation on West Court. They identified the driver in a white van, Diego Alexandre Sousa Martins, who they say is in the country without documents from Portugal. In the passenger seat was Solomon Antonio Serrano Esquivel, who was also undocumented from El Salvador. Officials say ICE approached the van and told the driver to turn off the engine. He refused, then allegedly rammed his van into several ICE cars, then tried to run the officers over. That's when the ICE agents fired their weapons. The driver, Sousa Martins, was injured. The van eventually crashed in between two residential buildings and into some trees. The passenger was injured. They were both taken to the hospital, and no ICE agents were seriously injured.
I think it's bad because you're in a residential area. Bullets don't have no name on it. They just find targets. And therefore, they should not be used.
People who live nearby say they're more concerned about the safety of bystanders that could have been hurt.
Anybody could be walking, jogging, walking the kids, and all that kind of stuff, trying to get ready for the holiday, and they could have been taken out.
ICE officials say the driver was here in the U.S. nearly 17 years after overstaying his visa, and this entire incident is still under investigation. From that reporting in Glen Burnie, Maryland, I'm Yammer Sase, DC News Now.
Some scary moments out there, Yamri. Thank you. And also developing now on a story we first told you about last night, the D.C. police officer hurt on 695 East last night remains in the hospital with serious injuries. Investigators saying the officer was outside his cruiser helping a person with a disabled car when they say a speeding driver hit him. That driver remained there on the scene and was taken to the hospital to be checked out. The person with the broken down car was not hurt. Now, this was a massive response there on both sides of 695 last night near the 3rd Street Tunnel. Police are continuing to investigate if any charges will be filed. The suspect accused of shooting 2 National Guard members, killing one of them, is now facing new federal charges, and this allows for prosecutors to seek the death penalty. The Justice Department says Ramananula Lockenwall brought a stolen gun from Washington State to D.C. to commit this crime. It then transfers the case over to district court, where U.S. Attorney for D.C. can pursue capital punishment. The 29-year-old is charged with murdering Specialist Sarah Beckstrom and seriously hurting Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf, just blocks from the White House before Thanksgiving. The Afghan national worked with elite U.S. forces in Afghanistan during the war. Let's talk about the Commanders with a big game tomorrow for Christmas Day. It's against the Cowboys. The team now has Josh Johnson, who is going to be starting at quarterback for this home game. Star quarterback Jaden Daniels has been shut down for the season, and then backup Marcus Mariota is recovering from an injury he suffered on Saturday. Both Commanders and Cowboys have been eliminated from the playoffs, so this is a matchup that will be all about the NFC East pride and, of course, those bragging rights. Kickoff is tomorrow at 1 at Northwest Stadium, and coming up in our next half hour, we're going to have much more on what you can expect from this game. WMATA wants to make sure you get over to Northwest Stadium tomorrow without a hitch. You can skip all the traffic and hop right onto the Metro. The trains will run on the weekend late night schedule, opening the stations at 6 a.m. and closing at midnight. Bus service will be on a Sunday schedule. Let's talk about the spirit of giving. It is strong in Maryland. A Brazilian restaurant delayed in opening, making sure the food they had ready is not going to be wasted. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg showing us how the owners deliver holiday dinners over to local police, fire, and a shelter.
Feeding the masses in Silver Spring, Terra Gaucha Brazilian Steakhouse is serving up quite a spread to those in need at Shepherd's Table.
Some mashed potatoes, we have different various meats. We have beef ribs, we have filet, we have chicken, sauteed vegetables, and some fresh fruit that we're offering today.
Manager Katie McKinney says they had a large competitor take legal action against them, so they had to delay their opening by 10 days.
So to avoid any potential food waste, we want to make sure that we're giving back to the community during this holiday season. So we're here donating some food. We're trying to make the best out of a bad situation.
Especially for those experiencing homelessness, getting this gourmet meal on Christmas Eve is more than just filling their stomachs.
It makes people feel seen, right? And I think the people that come in often are just not thought of.
Christina Moore is director of innovative meal programs at Shepherd's Table.
Chicken, beef, pork.
Each meal labeled so everyone has something to eat. 300 meals in total. And over in Rockville,
thank you.
15 meals for police officers and another 25 for firefighters, where we bumped into Santa Claus.
Merry Christmas!
Making sure those who keep us safe are fed too.
Having somebody bring us dinner on Christmas Eve is awesome. And as is typical on most nights, we're very busy. Most of our EMS units are out on calls, but we're going to enjoy a nice meal tonight that we didn't have to cook.
This is something that we're really happy to be doing, giving back to those that protect and serve us.
With stomachs full across Montgomery County, I'm Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
What an incredible gesture, and as you're seeing there, Santa has such a packed itinerary, but he's still making time to keep a couple of local traditions, which brings him to visit Northern Virginia. His arrival coming on skis here on the Potomac with the Alexandria Police Department. The annual tradition in its 40th year now, getting plenty of smiles as the team up all to grab the Grinch. In fact, there are families who return every year as part of their Christmas festivities.
I grew up in the Northeast and partly in Canada, so definitely weren't water skiing Santas, and so for me it's like a cultural event.
Great way for people to enjoy Christmas Eve.
Did you see that? Santa's leaving the Grinch in the dust here. Did take a few tumbles and got soaked, but no worries, he has changed. He is back on track on his Christmas route.